Okay, so let's get started on today's snack. We are going to continue to use some of our favorite juicy red summer fruits because it is still nice and warm here in Phoenix, Arizona. And today's recipe uses strawberries instead of tomatoes to make a really fun salsa. So here's all we need for our strawberry salsa. We need strawberries, cilantro, red onion, lime, and jalapeno. And you can use however much jalapeno you want. If you love spicy, you can add a lot. If you don't like spicy, you can leave it out, or you can just add a tiny bit for flavor. I love spicy, so I'm gonna put a lot, but you put however much you want in yours. So let's get started on our strawberry salsa. All right, so the first ingredient, of course, is those juicy red strawberries. Now, we've talked about strawberries before. We know they have a lot of vitamin C, and that's going to really help us to stay well and help our skin to glow and just help us to feel good. So we've got a lot of beautiful strawberries, and I've been chopping my strawberries up. I'm just going to chop up a few more and put them in my salsa bowl. So I'm chopping my strawberries up pretty finely. And I think you'll want to do that too so that you can dip your chips or whatever you like to dip in salsa and get a nice scoop of salsa up. So I just got all of my strawberries cut up, and let me show you about the size of my strawberries. This is called dice. I'm going to dice our strawberries pretty finely. Now, I always like to add something creative to the recipe that you don't have to add, but just to inspire you to use ingredients that you might have around your house, or in this case, in your neighborhood. How many of you have seen beautiful prickly pear cacti growing in your neighborhood lately? I know I have some just down the street in my neighborhood, and I love to watch the blossoms and then the fruit grow from a green to a yellowish color and finally to this pink, juicy red color. So what I did is, just for fun, I added a little bit of prickly pear to my salsa. I know that you could also add mango to your salsa. I know that Miss Chattel loves to add really unripe mango. Maybe one day she'll share that recipe with us. But all you have to do to get your prickly pear ready is you need to make sure all the spines are off. I got mine at a local store, but you can get yours in the neighborhood as well. You just have to really get the spines off and have mom and dad help you. Maybe that'll be another lesson. And then once you take the outer skin off, you want to scoop out all of the seeds because they're a little bit chewy, and you can just use the very outside, dice it up, and add it to your strawberry salsa. So I've already added a little bit of this beautiful red, ripe, prickly pear to my salsa just for that fun twist. So we've got that in here as well. And now we're going to add something a little bit spicy, a jalapeno. So you can take out the seeds in the middle so that it's not too super spicy. And you also will want to wash your hands after you are cutting up your jalapeno so that you don't hurt your eyes or get it on your face. So make sure to wash your hands after you handle this. So let's cut it up. I'm going to cut off the top of it now and slice it right down the middle. And see how it has these seeds right in the middle? We're going to take those seeds out. Those are very, very spicy, and I don't think we want our salsa to be quite that spicy, even though I like spicy. I know I'm going to even take those seeds and that middle white part out. So I'm doing that with my sharp knife very carefully. Okay, so see, I got most of my seeds out and that little white pit inside. And now I'm going to dice up just a little bit of my jalapeno, however much you like, or if you're going to share the salsa, you know, whatever the person that you're going to share it with might like. Find out, do they like spicy? Do they like mild? Do they like medium? We can always ask the people that we're preparing food for how they like it, right? So I've got probably about a teaspoon of jalapenos for my liking. So I'm going to put that right in my bowl of strawberries and prickly pears. And the next thing I'm going to add is half of a lime. And I'm just going to squeeze the juice from my lime right inside of my wonderful salsa here. Oh wow, it sure is looking good and juicy and delicious. Next thing we're going to add is red onion. Now I have what's called a shallot, and it's very much like a red onion. It's a little bit sweeter and a little bit milder. So you can either use a shallot or a red onion, and you don't need very much, probably about a quarter of one. So that's just gonna add a little bit more flavor and texture to our delicious strawberry salsa. So I'm peeling the peel off of the outside of my shallot or my onion so that I can dice it up really finely. Because I think you guys probably don't like a big chunk of onion in your salsa, right? So maybe just dice it up as tiny as you can so that you just get a little bit of that flavor. So that's what I'm going to do now. Get my shallot or my onion ready. Chopping that carefully. Get that going. And sometimes when you chop onions, you might notice that your eyes start to water a little bit. Or if your mommy or your daddy chop onions, you might notice that. Or when you're sauteing onions especially, the same thing can happen, right? So that's just a natural thing that happens when we're cutting onions. All right, so I have a little bit of diced red onion or shallot, not very much. And I'm just sprinkling that into my salsa here. And the next thing I'm going to add is a little bit of sea salt, or like I prefer to use, Himalayan pink salt. Let's get just a tiny pinch of our salt and put that right into our strawberry salsa. That's it. What we're going to do now is make sure that you taste your salsa. Check and see if you want a little bit more chili, if you want a little bit more lime juice, if you need a bit more salt, or did you make it too spicy or too salty and you just need to add more fruit, add more strawberries. So I'm going to mix my beautiful salsa up. Doesn't that look delicious? Really fresh. Okay, so that's nice and fresh and mixed up. Now, what can you serve your salsa with? What do we usually eat our salsa with? We love to eat corn chips with our salsa, right? So I think blue corn chips sure would be pretty with this salsa. I'm always thinking about the color and how they might look together because we eat with our eyes, right? But I had another idea for something that I thought I might enjoy eating with my salsa, and you might too. And so I got these organic plantain chips. And plantain is a little bit like a banana. And we fry it up just like a chip, and it sure does taste delicious. So I'm gonna put a few plantain chips with my salsa today, just right on the side, so that I can get ready for my snack, and maybe I'll share it with a friend. And there you go. My strawberry salsa with plantain chips is ready to eat.